Every successful company offers a product or a service that its customers appreciate. So how popular are Sundial's products? The level of quality that they offer varies significantly from brand to brand, which is surprisingly common in this industry. In this video, I'll be reviewing the quality that each brand offers as I see it, starting with their flagship one, Sundial. In the early days of legalization, a product that burned cleanly was fairly uncommon, and Sundial was actually one of the exceptions. That aside, I still felt there were better brands at the mid-price point, so I kinda lost interest in them. I tried them recently for the purpose of reviewing them, and I found that things hadn't changed very much. They were still kinda dry and crusty. But they're still trying to sell it at like $27, $28 an eighth at Value Buds, and there are far superior products at that price point, in my opinion. So I wasn't really surprised that the package on date was like 9 months prior. While their Palmetto brand is cheaper, I couldn't really describe it as dry and crusty. It did have a fresh feel to it, despite being packaged also about 9 months ago. But aside from that, it lacked density and therefore aroma and flavor. I can't tell if it's really good outdoor or grown in a very large indoor warehouse. Meaning it doesn't get the light intensity it needs, which leads to a lack of density, which leads to a lack of flavor and aroma. They seem to have some popularity a few years ago due to their price point and the fact that they weren't terrible, but the competition has really improved and they haven't. Top Leaf is of much higher quality than the two previously mentioned brands, but they're also significantly more expensive. One problem they're facing is the reputation they built in the early years for selling overpriced product that wasn't very good. But sometime in the last 2 years, they really improved their facilities and or technique, and now I would say that their grow quality is quite high. However, at Value Buds, they're still trying to sell their eighths for like $35, $40, which makes them among the most expensive on the market. And they seem to be playing it safe by offering strains that they know are very good, which may sound like a good idea, but the fact of the matter is, consumers in this industry really like variety. I've been following this for years, and what I've seen is that new strains would show up that are very good, very popular, and well grown, and they'd sell for a while, but after a few months they'd sit on the shelf, and then they'd disappear, because people would get sick of them. No matter how good a new strain is, it always gets old. That's just the way it goes in this industry, and Top Leaf doesn't really seem to understand that. So for that reason, and their old reputation, and their high price, I'm not really sure that many consumers have noticed the improvement. Last year, Sundial acquired Valence, and along with it their Citizen Stash brand. Citizen Stash had some early popularity selling their Mac 1 brand for over $50 an eighth. And since then, they seem to have realized that they constantly need new strains. And now they're much cheaper, selling at about $25 an eighth at Value Buds at least. But with the drop in price came a drop in quality, or at least consistency. Now sometimes when you buy them, they do end up being dry and crusty. And a bud tender noted the same thing unprompted, so I'm not the only person to notice this. So while early on they gained a reputation for quality, I'm not sure how well it's lasted. With their Valence acquisition came another brand called Verse, which offers really cheap ounces, around $60 or $70. It's outdoor, so it's not that good, but its price definitely drew customers. But competition has improved drastically recently, so you can pay just a little bit more and get a far superior product, in my opinion. Other than that, Sundial owns a bunch of liquor retail outlets, which I don't really have an opinion on. But they also own Value Buds, which is a large retail chain that sells their products. On one hand, that's an advantage because they display their products rather prominently, and they undercut their competitors, so they are busy stores. However, Canna Cabana, which also sells these products very cheaply and is very busy, don't seem to sell Sundial products, probably because they don't want to help their main competitors. And while I don't know that that's an official policy, I wouldn't be surprised if other chains have similar attitudes. So, all in all, Sundial appears to be a collection of independent brands with a hands-off management who doesn't seem interested in spreading their strengths through the company and eliminating their weaknesses. This could, of course, change, but I see no sign of that happening, and I'm therefore far more interested in their profitable competitors.